The capping breech loaders of the Civil War US cavalry are all interesting items. The cavalry was the testing ground for quite a few interesting and sometimes strange firearms concepts. The Merrill was one of the best in my opinion regarding operation and ability to seal the joint between the breech and the bolt, a challenge many designs failed before the introduction of the metallic cartridges. James H. Merrill's carbine is based on his patent of July 20, 1858. He originally planned to convert existing military muzzle loaders with his system to breech loaders to save money for the army.
Clean.
The operation was simple. The hammer was put in half-cock, the lever of the breech was unledged and pulled up. A toggle link was connected to this lever that pulled the bolt or piston out of the chamber. When a paper cartridge holding the powder and the ball was inserted in the chamber, the bolt pushed it into position when closing the breech. The Merrill in fact was one of the best designs for sealing the breech to prevent powder gases from burning the hands and the face of the soldier. The Merrill cartridge was a simple design, much simpler to manufacture than most of the cartridges of the capping breech loader carbines of the time. In need, this carbine could also be loaded as a muzzle loader, and it could also fire nearly any linen or paper cartridges made for the 54 or 56 caliber cavalry breech loaders. The original cartridge held 40 grains of powder and an approximately 410 grain and 5.30 to 5.50 caliber 3-ring solid base cast lead bullet. The construction of the cartridge was very simple and fast, as the flames entered the case from the side, not from the back. The company's 1864 catalog showed the method of production that needed only a former stick and some glue.
Let me show you how easy it is to manufacture these cartridges, these original style cartridges for your Merrill carbine, based on the original instructions. What you will need is a contemporary bullet. My bullet is modified from a 547 Minier mold with making a new base plug, so now it is a flat base bullet. The weight is 413 grains and the diameter is 547, so it is matching my bore quite good. You need some scissors, you will need thin paper, thin but strong paper that the gases from the percussion cap can puncture. You will need some paste and you will need some powder, of course, and the 40 grain powder measure. The original weight of the charge in this cartridge was 40 grains of powder, and the bullet was also around 400 grains. So let's start with the cartridge paper. According to the original instructions, the cartridge cases are rolled from a sheet of paper holding multiply cartridge papers. So cut 5.3 centimeter wide and 3.5 centimeters by as many as you can roll up on your mandrel size sheet, and that will be your base. I also marked the sheet at every 3.5 centimeter distance, so I will be able to cut it precisely when I will be making the exact cartridges. So let's start with rolling up the paper tube. The mandrel exactly fits the diameter of the bullet. Okay, we start rolling it up and we just simply paste the upper end . Be careful to only apply paste to the very end of the paper, otherwise it will stick to the mandrel, and roll it up firmly. And when you're done, just simply remove it from the stick. Now put it away and let it cure. Once it is cured, you will arrive to something like this. Let's reinsert it on the mandrel. Okay. And we just move it all the way till I have some space for the first 2 rings of the bullet to enter the paper casing. Now we apply some paste to the base 2 rings of the bullet as well, so only the bottom 2 rings will be glued, like that. Get rid of the glue that we don't need, and we just insert it into the cavity of the tube. In a way that the end of the paper is in flush with the top of the second groove from the bottom. And when we are done, we just secure it by hand, firmly pressing the paper against the bullet base. Now when we are done with this, we remove the stick up until the first mark, and then we simply cut it, and we will be able to continue with the next bullet with this one. Okay, so now it is time to fill the case with powder. The powder I'm using is 2F Swiss powder. We fill the case, just knock it a bit to help the powder settle, and then you start folding very, very simply the paper on top of the powder charge. Be careful when you're doing this, because otherwise you can spill the powder, which you don't want to. Okay. Probably it is better to do it from the two opposite sides, like this. And when you're done, apply some paste on top. Fold in the two ears, like that, and press the cartridge firmly against the table, so you have a completely flat surface on the bottom. Now this is a very clever cartridge design, because the ignition is not happening from the back, like in the case of the Sharps cartridges, but from the side. So, which means that if you have a proper quality paper, it's a thin but strong paper, it would easily puncture from the sides, and the bottom can be folded as many times as you want, because the gases does not have to enter from the direction of the base of the cartridge. Now, when you are done, according to the original instructions, the bullet has to be lubed with tallow, simply tallow. Okay, let's continue the work. Next cartridge. Same method. Let's give it a bit more. Secure it. Oh. Cut. Let's put that back. Once you remove it, it is not always easy to put it back, but not impossible. Let's do one more. It's actually a very easy and very fast method of making cartridges. To tell you the truth, I think that igniting the powder charge from the sideway has some benefits compared to any paper cartridges that were made for the Sharps rifles, for example. Okay. Cut. Fill with powder. Once more. Fill with powder, help it settle, fold one side in, fold the other side in, apply some paste, fold one ear in, fold the second ear in, and press it against the table. And there you go. Another cartridge is ready.
Merrill's own company, the Merrill, Thomas and Company, supplied 14,255 carbines and nearly 5.5 million cartridges to the cavalry. But other manufacturing sites also contributed with large numbers. The Merrill cartridge was made by Johnson & Doe as well, and also in the St. Louis and Washington arsenals.
So ladies and gentlemen, now I will make an arsenal pack, a Washington arsenal pack for 12 caps and 10 cartridges. So we start with rolling a normal paper casing for the percussion caps, for the 12 percussion caps. This is the same paper sheet that is used for making the rifle musket cartridges. You just roll it up, twist one end, remove the former, add the 12 percussion caps, so which means that for 10 cartridges you have 12 caps. You can have 2 misfires. And when we are done with it, we just fold the end like it was a normal paper cartridge, fold it back, and there you go, we have a nice 12 percussion cap paper package. Now, the Washington Arsenal bundles were placed in a cardboard box, so I created a little cardboard box for the cartridges. Now we will start adding the cartridges in 2 tiers. Second tier. And we just place the percussion caps in front of them. So it is nearly ready. But now I'm going to add the label and the wrapping paper. Okay. Let's place it in the center. This should be okay like this. Okay, and now I'm going to add an opening string. So I have a knot here. This is a normal string that you use for candles. And I will just place it into this corner. So I will be able to open it from the right side. You just close it. Turn it, and I'm going to apply some glue on the wrapper. So I'm going to fix that little string so it will tear the box open when I will pull it. Okay, and I will need a hole here on this side. And we just adjust the string into the glue. Quite simple. And when we reach the other end, I will just let it out on this hole. It is so simple. And I will just simply put some glue on the other side so we can finish the wrapping. Let's put some on the sides as well to make it nice. And we finish the packaging. It will be a really nicely shaped box. Let's Let's put some paste on the two ears. And there you go. We have a beautiful box of cartridges ready to be opened, which I'm going to do only at the range. What do you think?
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in to the Cap and Ball channel. Please like, share, comment and subscribe to help us grow. Please visit us on patreon.com/capandball and be our supporter for exclusive content. We are also present on the History of Weapons and War platform. Stay tuned for the second part focusing on the history and advantages and disadvantages of the Merrill carbine. Until next time, stay cool and keep your powder dry.